guys, how are you doing?
Hello, evening. Evening, Dave.
Hi guys.
This is going to get so confusing. Dave and Dave.
We'll just call me the boss man.
Dave and Dave, yeah.
Just call me the boss man. Dave and Dave it is then. So how are you both? How are you both, Daves?
I'm okay. Garden's a bit like something off time team at the moment in the front garden, but
yeah, it's all good up here. Yeah, all good up in Scotland.
So how have you been, Dave? Obviously, because we had a little chat earlier on Facebook, and I said we may as well chat later. But how has things been up in Scotland? Obviously, because
I'm back.
Hi, Dave. How have you been?
A little party trick to disappear and come back.
I don't think I'm that bad to talk to, in all fairness.
He's yapping at me.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about it myself, dear Cam. Talking to yourself.
I know. I was like, "Where you gone?"
Is this disappeared? Yeah, but what we're saying, the virus is, it's been like the full UK had been hit very bad. Scotland recently, we've only got 2,000 infected, which is like 1 in 5,000. I think there's a population of 5 million in Scotland, so we have got it right under control. But the pubs are opening up now, so it's going to be up in there for the next few weeks.
Yeah, because your pubs haven't actually opened yet, have they?
Just today.
Oh, is today the first day?
Yeah.
See, we had a little bit of an increase as soon as the pubs opened, but then it's a virus. It's not just going to go away.
No, it's definitely not.
And I guess people would be stupid to think that it's just going to magically disappear just because we've been allowed out of quarantine. It just doesn't work like that.
Yeah, we're going to get it again in the winter. It's
if not before.
Yeah, well, that's true as well. You just need to look at Brazil, America.
Yeah. I mean, we was chatting today about on Facebook about masks, because masks are becoming compulsory.
Yeah.
Now, I had a little bit of a rant, as you both know, because I've spent 11 years working in the care sector.
Yeah.
So I know more than anybody how important cross-contamination and infection control is. So today, bearing in mind it's not compulsory yet, today I went to the shop and I just watched. I just thought, I'm just going to sit here just for 5 minutes and I'm just going to watch, see what happens. There was people walking around with a mask on. So say this is my mask.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Well, what's that going to do?
Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, up in Scotland, it's actually, they've got security guards on your supermarkets. You can get in a shop without a mask on in Scotland.
But it's how people are treating the masks that's going to be the real issue, because the idea isn't to stop others passing the virus on to you. It's to stop you from passing it on to others. But if you think that this virus is spread through contamination of the droplets, you're wearing a mask.
Yeah.
So all of your droplets are going to be contaminating this one area that is stuck around your face.
Yeah.
Now, how you handle that, taking it off, putting it on, is going to be the biggest spreading factor, without a doubt.
The thing with it is the masks are not 100%. But what it does, if everyone wears the masks, it'll cut down the virus. But you also have to wash your hands. You have to fit them correctly. You have to take them off correctly. It's not just the mask will protect you. All the mask will do is, if I've got the virus, and if you've got a mask on, and I say, hi, Gemma, from 2 meters away, I won't spread the virus to you, because I've got the mask on and you've got the mask on.
If you didn't have a mask on and you was 2 meters away, you still wouldn't be passing on the virus anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Even if you're wearing a mask, because it'll still go through your mask.
Mm-hmm.
It's only good if you've got the virus, if you get the mask on.
See, this is it. I mean, I'm not sure how much longer the world can cope with talking about COVID, if I'm honest. I think everybody is getting sick of it, to say the least. And it's just frustrating because at every stage it's been do this, don't do this, do this, don't do this. But you could do this now. It's just, it's so up and down. It is unreal. And you just don't know if you're coming or going. But in Scotland, I mean, Nicola, what's her name, Sturgeon, she's actually been quite consistent.
Oh, she's been good. She's been good. She's been on the ball.
Yeah, in Scotland, I actually think you've had, not that it's a competition, but you've had a bit of a better end of the deal, if you will, because of how consistent she's been. I think everybody needed that. Everybody needed somebody to say, no, you can do what you wish, but this is what I want, and this is what's going to happen. And I think that's how it should have been played out to begin with. But I mean, as we was talking earlier, you said you're quite remote where you are, aren't you, Dave?
Yeah, well, I stay in the central belt, but as I was saying, like Scotland is not like England. England's got a lot of big cities, so it's harder to contain a virus in a city. But with Scotland, you've got the central belt, and then the rest of the country, it's all, you know, it's countryside with little towns spotted about, so it's easy to contain it. Whereas England, it's built up city after city. It's a totally different, you know. It's totally different to controlling the virus. It'd be a lot easier to control the virus in Scotland than what it would be in England. You know, so that factor has to be taken into it as well.
So how do you think that the COVID situation has impacted on the paranormal field? Have you seen an increase in reported cases from individual homes?
I've not heard any reported like extra cases as such. I mean, I have been in contact with a few sort of locations in that. What I've been finding out more is that activity's becoming a bit more raw. But that would make sense because obviously the teams are not going to investigate draining spiritual.
When you say it's a bit more raw, what do you mean?
You know, a lot more energy, you know, a lot more activity, you know, based.
And is that from the locations that you deal with?
Up here, yeah.
Can I be really cheeky and ask what locations they are? The ones that you've been in contact with.
I mean, I'll happily tell you over private message, but you know, some of these ones it's you know, these are like kind of like secret sort of like contacts that we've took a while to build up, and you know, it's only really us that sort of go there and stuff like that. So if you get what I'm saying. So
that's a Gemma. I'm not going to tell you. You can ask all you want, but I'm not going there.
I'll tell you in private messenger.
Okay. I'm just being nosy, that's all. Just being nosy. There's no other reason for that question other than I am just so nosy. It's unreal. So
Scotland doesn't have a lot of paranormal teams as well. So I mean, all the energy Scotland is raw anyway. There isn't a lot of teams in Scotland.
No, not a lot. I think I would say there's 10 that I know of, and that's the very small teams as well. They're not huge teams, so that's a rarity.
Yeah,
and quite unheard of these days.
Yeah, well, I think for like teams like myself, like, you know, do Facebook Lives and that. I think there's maybe only, I'm trying to think now, one, maybe two more teams that do Facebook Lives.
Yeah. You see, I know a lot of small teams that don't go in the public eye, if you will. Yeah. But people that go live, there's hardly any at all. It's ridiculous. When it comes to your investigation techniques, because you do Facebook Lives, so when it comes to your techniques, have you got like a standard setup that you abide by on every single live?
Yes. Yeah, we've got our we're quite sort of, you know, straight line the way we investigate. It's a lot of people that know me. I love my PC. I love using my apps. The way I use an app is if anybody watches the lives, I'll ask intelligent questions, you know, and you know some of the records we've clipped the live and we've played it back. We've had my full name said back in actual like AVP form, not even EVP form. We've had like, locations where like Karen's at like for instance, Stirling Castle. You know, where are we? I'll say Stirling, or I'll, you know, it's all intelligent questions because you know that's the way that we'll only work with ITC. It's got to be intelligent.
Yeah, it makes sense. Completely makes sense. The only problem is, I mean, when we're saying intelligent communication, it's defining that intelligent communication, because realistically speaking, we still don't know what an actual ghost is. So we still don't know what's actually communicating with us. So although we say intelligent communication, intelligent from what? No, exactly. Which is where it becomes really, really interesting and a different ball game. So since we've gone on to that, what are your thoughts and theories on what ghosts are, Dave? Sorry, throw you right in the deep end there, won't I?
No, not at all. For me, it's like when we do our lives, we always say, we do our Facebook lives, we put it out there, we put our app on, we'll ask intelligent questions. It's up to the viewer to decide what is. What we will show is it's like clear, answers, and a lot of times if you've ever seen any of my stuff, we'll get the answers to the questions we're asking. Like what is that we're pointing to, and it'll say like tower or clock, or can you tell me the name of the building, and it'll say it. And for us, that spirit, we don't know what we're communicating with. All we're saying is it's intelligent. Intelligent, is it spirit? Is it from like another dimension? Is it even ourselves, that's portraying it? Nobody knows. It's impossible to know. I don't see spirit. I've been lucky enough, I've heard a few spirit with my own ears, but apart from that, I'm like a plank of wood. I'm closed off.
I'm like a plank of wood. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Do you think that's where science needs to come in and do some tests where?
Yeah, well, I'm a scientist by trade. So, from the science side of things, as I can know a lot of stuff out, and I can debunk a lot of stuff, and that's what I like about ITC. Is it's very interesting, and it's the research that I like, because I don't know what it is. I'm getting intelligent stuff, and and the more I use it, the more I get bonded to it, and I could, like, for instance, I could do a live with you, and I've done this, and I've actually done this with many people, and I'd happily do it with yourselves. I've said what I think is my spirit guides to your house while I'm playing my app, and they've come back and told me what you're holding in your hand. Now, I've done this in a Facebook Live with over 10 people, and it's happened 8 out of 10 times.
Do we have to book in advance to do this, or could we try something now?
If you want, I'll get that. We can try it now.
Yes, let's try it now.
There's no such thing as time.
Definitely.
There's no such thing as time. Time is man-made. So spirit can go wherever it wants.
Dave Bossman, get something in your hand.
I'm going to get my app card in.
Yeah.
That sounded a bit naughty, that then.
Okay, I've got a little procedure that I need you to do. So who's going to do this?
I'll do it. Go on.
Gemma, do you want to do it?
No, Dave can do it. He says that I never shut up, so we'll let him be useful.
Right. Dave, I want you to hold something in your hand that's quite easy to say on ITC, something that's relatively easy for a spirit to say. What I'm going to get you to do once I'm ready, I want you to think out your town name. So, for instance, I want you to think out mentally Manchester, wherever your town is. I'm going to ask my spirit guides that I'm going to, I've been told spirit guides around me to connect with me. I'm going to ask them to find you like a beacon. Mm-hmm. They're allowed to go into your home. I'm going to ask them to tell me what you're holding in your right hand. I'm then going to get them to come back. I'm going to ask them on the app to say what you're holding. Now, if any of the viewers or yourself hear what you're holding, let me know. Or if I say, are you holding something? And you say, yeah, Dave, that's what I'm holding. How do I know that? Yeah. So we're going to give that a go. Karen's going to get the app up now.
Oh, so excited.
It's charge, I think it has.
Got charge. Okay. Right. What do you think we'll put?
We'll do it too.
We're doing Project Paranormal Lab 2. Now we've got the 3 out, but that's in test at the moment. So we're just going to go back to Project Paranormal Lab 2. Okay, Dave, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 2 seconds. Karen's just going to get the app. She's going to let me know when she's ready. I'll drum roll here.
I am so sorry for putting you on the spot right now as well. I just got all excited then.
You've got to try these things, innit?
Absolutely.
The only thing is, I think when some it can be fuzzy, isn't it?
We'll maybe bring it forward a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to bring my spirit, guys. Cast spirit, guys, to come forward, please. Mean no harm, bound with respect. We'll do tonight to help communicate with this little experiment, please. Okay, Dave, I want you to think out loud where your town or city or where you're from. Keep thinking it out. Just keep thinking out constantly. Just on it like a beacon, like that. Okay, spirits, I want you to try and find Dave. Now, Dave's in England. He's putting a signal out there. He's putting a psychic signal out there of his town. You're allowed to go in his house. Now, he's holding something in his hand. I want you to go into his house. You're allowed. Can you come back and tell me what he's holding in his hand? Karen. Karen's going to be yours as well. Spirits, have you been in Dave's house? In a house? Something about a house. What was Dave holding? Spirits, while you try very hard, what was Dave holding?
At least he's holding.
He's holding, did you hear that?
I heard he's holding, but I don't know what it was.
How is it? Yeah, I think.
What's he holding?
Okay. What's that?
Spirits, can you give me a yes or no answer? Have you been in Dave's house? Okay, now, if he's been holding something in his hand, you tell me what it is.
Yeah.
Right, very hard, Spirits. I'm going to do this for 1 more minute.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what he was holding?
Can I say like car?
What are you thinking?
Say like car.
Car?
Car keys.
Are you holding car keys, Dave?
No.
Absolutely.
One, Spirits, this is the last chance. I'm going to count down from 10. Can you tell me what was he holding in his hand?
Oh, you.
Okay, Spirits, can you tell me what city is Dave from? What city were you in? Okay, I'm going to turn it off now. So,
Well, a couple of people.
Obviously, we're checking back. Dave, what are you holding?
Hang on. Wait. A couple of people in the chat have that. I think that's 2 or 3 people now have all said one item. So, Dave, can you now hold it up? Oh, what's that? How are you expecting anybody to know what that is?
No, you didn't have to get anything that's on the front, but you could have said a bottle. And I thought I heard bottle somewhere along the lines.
Dave, see if you listen back. Have a listen back and see if you can pick up in these, because it may be there and we've not heard it. So that would be worth checking back on.
Well, a few people actually thought they heard pen being said.
I think that might be too obvious, might it, if you said pen. But
yeah. So is this something that you've developed yourself then, David? Sorry, I've started calling you David now.
Travel experiment about 4 years. So that's only I've done something wrong, Gemma. I've done this about 4 years ago, spirit travel experiment, and I've done it with investigators. I've done it with viewers. I've done it loads of times. it's worked. You know, it works quite a lot of the times. Probably 8 out of 10 times. You know, people have been blown away. There's like one time it was actually a fellow investigator from Manchester. What's his name now? Steve Mulligan, I think it is. And Steve done it, and I was like, "Where's Steve?" And it said naked, and Steve's like, "I'm in the bath watching your Facebook Live."
I mean, there's a time and a place, isn't there?
Yeah.
You're in the bath.
That's what I was saying to Steve. You're in the bath watching me. Yeah,
See, that is just so wrong.
And he's a fellow investigator.
To actually have to say that live as well. So, Steve, you're in the bath watching me. It sounds so wrong.
Yeah.
Oh
That's the point. I'm just reading. I'm just reading some of the messages, and some of them people are saying that the top looks like a pen, but they could have been mistaken. They could have thought it was a pen.
Could have been. Yeah.
So how does the app actually work then, Dave? And is this something that is out for general public?
It's free to download in the general public. It's been downloaded, I think, 5,000 times. Loads of people love using it. What it does is, it's a random word generator, but what it does is get words in English, all in reverse, cut up. And in a sense, it puts it into the ether, and spirits can manipulate it. The same way they can manipulate it at, like, radio waves. So they can manipulate it to use their own words. Now, with my app, because I've used it so long, my spirit guides are that used to using it. I've actually had like not even EVPs, AVPs, where it's actually caught, an actual voice phenomenon. In fact, one of my friends from Paranormal Haunting, Charlene, was using one of the apps last night, and she got an EVP on her live, and it was clear as day. It said "listen," and it was as if it was somebody else that was in the room. It was that crystal clear.
Wow. See, that's cool.
That
really cool.
It's not on the Paranormal Hauntings app.
It's not something that I've used, so I can't really comment, but I'm actually really interested. So where can you download this?
Yeah. It's on Play Store.
Oh, what's it called?
Project Paranormal app.
Project. I'm just seeing if I can download it now.
It's on his front of his t-shirt.
There's lots of apps. He's got them all. What I say is, you build a bond up with it. It's like everything else. Give it a go a few times. Just start asking random questions, like, sometimes I do my lives in the house, just for a little bit of fun. I'll go, "Can you tell me what this card is?" And it'll say Jack. Just certain, intelligent ones like that. Because I used to do lives in my kitchen, and I would do even I would have cards like this out many times. Lots of people I'll that's watched me will know this. I'll also do this experiment as that spirits. Can you add these two cards up? And it will say 11, or it will say 2 or 9. All intelligence.
That sounds awesome. I need to have a play. I need to. That sounded so wrong as well, doesn't it? Everything I'm saying, I think I need to be quiet and sit here, to be fair, tonight, because nothing I'm saying is sounding very professional.
So what people don't like apps? They think they're all entertainment, and it's. I mean, there is some apps out there that are rubbish. That are entertainment, but there is some genuine apps that are used, properly within the field.
So what other gadgets do you use, Dave?
Well, what I use myself, I like to use. I like static meters, so I'm quite into my static meters. I like my EM pumps to, just to charge my Tesla coils, charge the air before I investigate. I like static meters, positive, negative static meters, things like that. K2 meters. I'm not the biggest fan of K2 meters, but I will have one. Sat in a corner. I've got one of the ones that makes a noise if it's been triggered. It's quite good if you're outdoors and stuff like that. But that's basically what I like to use. I don't like a lot of gadgets. Like REM pods and that. I used to have a REM pod. Could never get it set off. So I don't use REM pods or anything like that. I like the tri-field meter, like scientific bits of equipment.
So how do you register or tally up your data from your investigations?
It's all done through, video. For instance, if we're doing that Facebook Live, we'll download the video and then we'll rewatch it all and we'll listen because, you know, a lot of times when we're doing ITC, we'll be like, oh, I've missed that catch. And it's been so clear. But because we've been concentrating, that we've missed it. But this is the great thing about Facebook Lives. It's all I do is Facebook Lives because it gives the viewers, I love the interaction with the people that watch, and it also lets them, like, you know, interact and, you know, and be part of the investigation as well. It's an extra set of eyes and ears.
Do you not feel that sometimes, I mean, this has been an ongoing debate, David, was that your house again?
Blame me again.
So this has been an ongoing debate for quite a long time, and it's. Do you think that in bringing into paranormal investigation cameras has had an impact? A lot of people say that they don't think spirit wants to be seen on camera.
Oh yeah, 100%. I've got my own theory about that. I think they don't want to be seen on camera, and I also think they're just outside of a spectrum. They're moving too fast, you know, that a camera can't catch them, you know, because we've got different light spectrums. Well, I think spirit, as I call it, spirit world, is just out of sync with our world. So it's moving too fast that we're not catching it. That's why a lot of people, when they see spirit, they're seeing it at the side of their eye. Now, your peripheral vision, everything's slowed down. You know, that's why you see things out the side of your eye.
Yeah, see, that would make sense. I mean, a lot of people do say that they see a lot out of the peripheral. But then...
Slowed down there.
Yeah. But then, are you seeing something out of your peripheral? Or is it a case of belief factor? Because how much of the paranormal field is based on belief?
Oh, it's for me... Belief, it's for me, it's no doubt. I mean, I scientifically can't prove spirits are real, but I know they're real, if that makes sense to you. I've been investigating come up 20 years now. I've seen one spirit in all the thousands of hours I've investigated. One spirit for a few seconds. I've heard spirit 4 times with my own ears, you know, luckily. I actually caught one of it on camera. Twice caught on camera, you know, the voice. But it's for me because I'm closed off, so I can't say from a medium side of things who sees a spirit every day. You know, I don't have any clairvoyance or any of the clairs. I'm totally closed off, but it's very, very rare for somebody like me to see a spirit. So that's where I've used the app and the technology.
See, this is where it does become difficult, isn't it? Because as you say, you know, a lot of people think that I'm a non-believer because I will say, well, what if paranormal activity could be this? But that doesn't mean to say that I don't believe. It just means that I'm open-minded enough to question other options on what it could be, because we haven't got the science to back up what a spirit is. So, you know, could it be telepathy? Could it be PK? Possibly. Who are we to say that it's not? But then on the other side of that coin, who are we to say that it's not consciousness after death either?
Yeah, this is the question as well. Even, you know, you could even say with the apps, is it your mind that's manipulating it? You know, because obviously when you break down your thought pattern, it breaks down into joules, which is energy. You know, so I mean, there's so many things. It's good to be skeptical. There's nothing wrong. It's good to be skeptical. The only thing I say that, you know, that is wrong is if you're going to be skeptical, be open-minded. Don't be so close-minded. There's no such thing as ghosts. Nobody can say that. The same way nobody can say there is ghosts. Yeah. Or spirits. I prefer to call it spirits. I'm just saying I believe the spirits. This is you know, my belief. But people that watch, it's up to them to decide. Now, we do our lives. We love our lives. And the people enjoy watching them. Now, we enjoy doing the lives because, you know, without naming anyone, there's a lot of fake teams out there that run about, you know, faking this, demon that, blah, blah, blah. You know, so we give it to the other side of the coin, you know. There's no D word or somebody swears over the app. It's like, oh no, that's a demon. No, it's not. Trust me, I swear. I'm not a demon. I think everyone in the UK has swore at some point. You know, so there's good teams and there's bad teams out there.
You see, yeah.
I think we're one of the good teams. Well, we're honest. I think I'm one of the few people I've been on record. I'll take a lie detector test. I've never faked anything in my life, you know, and I've always stood by that.
Yeah, you see, I'm with you on that, and I think we've actually had this conversation before as well, haven't we, Dave? Where we've said that we are open-minded enough to entertain notions on what paranormal activity could be, but we're not set in a belief system either, where we can't see anything but what we believe, which does happen. But like you just said, neither of us or any of us will share any information that is, to our knowledge, false.
No, but it's like, for instance, if I'm putting up, maybe if I've got some really good catches, like from the other day, Karen investigating, and I put a little clip up. She was down in England, and they got some really good stuff. I put up intelligent catches, right, because it's intelligent.
Yeah.
I'll never put up 100% proof spirit. You put the clickbait. You'll never see me put 100% proof spirit. The most I'll say is like intelligent ITC catches, because that's what it is. It's showing intelligence, and it's ITC. It's saying up to whoever what.
Oh, well, yeah, exactly. All you're doing is putting it out there for peer review, which is what everybody in the paranormal field should be doing, in all fairness, because that's the only way that the paranormal field is going to grow, is by talking to one another and entertaining each other's notions. If you're not prepared to do that...
Like, if I'm going...
Go on, what was you going to say, Dave?
If I'm going to look at a graveyard, I won't say like I'm going to this big devil, the demon graveyard. I'll just, I don't believe in clickbait. It's a personal pet hate of mine. It's
it's the same with It's the same with me. It's when you look on YouTube. Yeah, when you look on YouTube and you see all these, the demon house or the poltergeist house, why make it up? You don't need to make things up. If there's something there, there's something there.
To get views, and it's all about views, isn't it?
Do you know what my biggest pet hate is? The red circle around the alleged ghost. If it's not that obvious that you have to draw a circle around it, then don't bother posting it. Seriously. Please, guys, we don't need no circles. Have you? Yeah. I don't mind photos. Like, everybody should take photos. I take loads, especially when I'm on a hunt, because if nothing else, you're saving memories of that night. Because on nights where you get absolutely no paranormal activity at all, you are still bonding with the people that you are there with. You're still growing as a person. Yeah. So why not take photos to remember that night? And sometimes when you look back through photos, you remember something that did happen, and then it strikes up a conversation. So I do like to take photos, but I don't think you will ever see me put in a circle. Me and Karen.
Karen loves taking photos. Oh yeah, she loves taking photos.
I think you've got to.
I'm looking away like a weekend ghost hunt. I don't take photos, Karen. Where's the photos? You've only taken 6 photos. I was like, I couldn't be bothered.
6 photos?
Yeah, Karen has got 15,000 photos saved in their iCloud. On
Karen,
phone, sorry.
Karen, I think you need to have a word with David.
She's tried. She's got 45,000 photos saved. So
you see, if nothing else, it's a memory, isn't it? And it's easy to forget these memories. So when you've got it on photo, you tend to remember it a bit more. So I do like photos. So before lockdown, I know, because I did catch quite a few of your lives. I do pop up and say hello, but I know you was quite busy before lockdown with your Facebook lives.
Yeah.
What?
We were...
Go on.
Oh, sorry, you go, Gemma.
I was just going to say, so what's in the pipeline now? Because obviously you was doing stuff on a regular basis. It obviously got put on hold during lockdown and stuff, because a pandemic's enough to deal with. So what is in the pipeline? What have you got lined up now that you're allowed to start venturing out again?
Yeah, well, thankfully Karen's been out doing a few lives and a few ghost walks the past few weeks. What we've got in the pipeline is we were actually meant to be investigating Chillingham Castle in May. That obviously had to get put back. It's now put back to later in the year, so we're really looking forward to that.
Have you done Chillingham before?
Investigation with paranormal hauntings. Pardon?
Have you done Chillingham before?
No, we've not. No, first time.
You're gonna love it.
It's a joint investigation with paranormal hauntings, so I'm really looking forward to that. We've got other locations that are brand new to investigate, that have never been investigated, so we're pretty looking forward to getting these locations. We're just waiting for them to open up. Because I've been in the house since March. I've not left this house since March, so you can imagine I'm piping to get out.
You've not left the house at all?
No, not at all. Because I'm at serious risk of getting the virus, really, really seriously.
Dave!
I've not left the house whatsoever. I'm okay. I'm quite. I'm a happy-go-lucky type guy. Nothing much gets me down. So it's.
But being stuck in the house, though, you've got what? Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I've got the back garden in that, so I've been out in the back garden.
Okay. Yeah, I was just thinking
because
to not go outside, to not get fresh air, must be absolute torture.
Yeah. I've got the back garden, thankfully. It's been. I know what this. Just going back slightly on the virus. I know exactly what this virus does, and it's terrible. Does it scare me? Of course, it scares me. I think for somebody not to be scared would be quite foolish.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think everybody should have been highly concerned. Not so much now. Now it's easing off. But then on the other side of that coin, I don't think you should be too complacent either.
You need to keep switched on up there, but yeah.
Yeah, the only problem is I have noticed a lot during this whole situation. Common sense seems to be something that a lot of people seem to be lacking. Randomly.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah. It's just sporadic all over the world, isn't it?
Oh, well, have you heard?
Watch the news.
At one point, there was a massive conspiracy theory that COVID was related to the 5G towers.
Oh, God, please, yeah.
I mean, let's just throw in a bit of conspiracy theory while we're at it. But that was doing the rounds. COVID was only happening because of this 5G. It is actually now. I've heard it on the news on my way home tonight, actually from work, that they're no longer going to be allowing 5G, or they're bringing it down or something.
The Chinese, they're stopping the Chinese company from. They're taking the Chinese companies out from doing it. They're still doing the 5G. It's just going to take a little.
Yeah, they're taking the Chinese out.
The 5G. That's what I've said to people. It gives off the same amount of non-ionizing radiation, which means it does not harm you as a microwave. That's what 5G does.
And this is coming from a scientist, Dave. Am I right?
Yeah, from a scientist. It causes zero harm. It's got the same output as your microwave, as your hair dryer. Things any electrical. It's non-iodizing, which means it does not cause harm.
Absolutely. So we're saying that COVID was not caused through 5G.
That's something I can say scientifically. Yeah, that is scientific. Yeah, I can prove that.
Absolutely. I love it. I absolutely love it. So that was a massive.
So that's a bonus, isn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, in all fairness, I have heard. I am so sorry if everybody can hear all these notifications coming through. I don't know how to turn the sounds off, so I'm so sorry. There's been so many conspiracy theories. I think one of the biggest things that I've noticed is people that have gone from being out of their house all the time to being in the house, and especially like friends and stuff contacting me and saying things like, "I'm hearing some strange noises in my house," and a lot of the time it's because you're not used to hearing those noises. You're used to being out of the house, only coming home to eat and sleep. You know, you're gonna hear noises that you've not heard before. That is just normal.
Yeah.
But then I've also had.
On tense. I think with this virus, everybody's on tense as well.
So all your senses are heightened.
That's a funny story. Yeah. I'm an insomniac, so sometimes I will just sleep down the stairs because, you know, I'm going to be up to maybe 3, 4 in the morning. So I fell asleep downstairs. Next minute, all here's this big, you know, like bang, bang, right? And I woke up out of sleep, as you know, and I thought somebody's breaking in, you know, through the patio doors. So I've run up the stairs to, you know, obviously to get Karen and Lewis into the little sitting room where we can like, kind of shut it off. And Karen's came running out. She's like, you bloody idiot! It's me. I've got to the toilet and I've kicked. She's kicked like, you know, like the bit of the door or something like that. And she's made this almighty bang. And I'm thinking somebody's coming through the door. And I'm saying, "Go on the police!" And I was like, just pissed myself laughing. And my heart's going a mile a minute. And I'm like, oh my god, man, I can't believe that. True story, you know. Yeah. But it was hilarious. Not for me, right enough for about 15 seconds. I've never got off that couch and float upstairs.
I was just going to say, did your heart start pounding? Was you having like palpitations and stuff? I can't believe I'm sat here laughing. I'm so sorry. I've never been so
cooking all my life, honestly. I was off the couch, I went upstairs.
Usain Bolt, move out the way, Chris is coming through.
Usain Bolt, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was funny. But that was just, you know, just one of the things when you're just talking about everything's heightened.
Oh yeah, you see, yeah. I think everybody has been nervous. Everything that has been more heightened. I mean, one of my friends. I mean, the things that people are doing is crazy. In all fairness, I mean, one of my friends thought she was Hermione from Harry Potter. She literally had, because she'd heard that sage was good, and I'd given her some white sage incense sticks. Because let's face it, white sage is meant to ward off any negativity, and with everything that's going on in the world and in my personal life, you know, we need rid of some of this negativity. So I'll try anything once. So I was told that white candle and white sage incense sticks will help rid of negativity. So I stocked up, as you do. Good old Amazon. Other sites are available, so I stocked up on all of these incense sticks, and it's just become habit now. So now every night I come into my room, and I mean my candles are on now. You can see them in the background. So I light my candles and I light my white sage stick. And I was talking to my friend about it, and I said to her, "Well, I was once told white sage is really good," and she'd noticed things happening in her house. Now, in all fairness, I was sat there one night and it was just me and her, and she's down a little quiet side street. So there's like no lorries or anything going past. No cars went past her house because we were sat in the front room. We could see out the window, and her front room door opened. And she was like, "This is what I'm saying. This is what's happening." And I was like, "It's all right, mate. Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
Does anything bother you? And she's like, "No, but I hear loads of noises." And I was like, "But the noises, are they really bad? Are they really loud? Are they very regular? It's at a certain time?" And she was like, "No, not really. So I just sometimes notice it since being in lockdown." Well, after talking to me about it, she decided she was going to get really concerned about it. And because I'd given her some white sage incense sticks, she lit the sage incense stick. I went walking around the house, and I said to her, I did a face palm. I literally did a face palm and said, "I could just imagine what you was doing." And she said, "What?" So I stood up and I went walking around her house with an incense stick, and I went, "I bet you was like this, weren't you? All over your house." She went, "Yeah." And I was like, "You're not Hermione Granger." And I was like, "That is going to do nothing." But it proved a point to me, and it's a point that happens a lot in the paranormal field. People walking around, wafting things, thinking that they know what they're doing, when in actual fact they haven't got a clue. And that to me is a scary, scary thought.
Yeah. That's the thing when I say to people, there's no expert in the paranormal field. I'm not an expert. There's no experts. There's people maybe with experience, but there's no experts. No. I don't have any fear of the paranormal. You know, some people are terrified. I had no fear. But even though I don't have any fear, I still do my protection rituals. Sage is great for lifting energy, just normal energy, taking it out, you know, and if spirits are going to be active, you know, they'll feed off your energy. That's what I believe. They feed off negative energy, even positive energy. I like to use, I like to have my crucifix, you know, which got from the Vatican. I like using the Catholicism side of protection. I also like Tibetan protection. So I've got my...
I did notice earlier.
So I always use this before I investigate, and after this live, I'll use this as well, just to lay down a lot of protection in that in my house, you know, because obviously I've got a young son that is terrified of the paranormal. So in 19 years, there's only been one occasion that something's maybe kind of happened in the house. Thankfully, it wasn't with Lewis. So, you know, we've been sort of okay.
Can I ask what happened?
Very seriously. Yeah, well, one of the times is I was coming up from the Gay Street in Hull. I've been investigating, and I was in a bit of a... This is going back about 4 years ago, and I was ranting, raving. I was a lot more like... you know, now you don't hear a peep from me on Facebook, but I used to rant and rave it back in the day. And I was ranting and raving about something, and I'm sitting talking to my friend on Messenger, and next minute on my... This is the only time I've seen something move. On, you know, the mantelpiece, I had one of 9-volt batteries. You know, paranormal, we've got batteries everywhere. It just moved right off of the mantelpiece, poof, rattled right down the floor. And I'm like, okay. So that's the only time I've seen anything move in 19 years. And this was about 4 feet from me. I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Karen's slightly sensitive. She's heard spirit of, like, probably about 6 or 7 times in the 5 years that we've stayed here. Now, our household, although I used to collect haunted items, we don't have any haunted items in here anymore. But underneath us was mines, and there was a lot of miners killed underneath us, directly underneath the house. And when we've been doing our lives in the house, we've got quite a lot of sort of, you know, like spirits coming forward, and things like that. But you can't hear, like David, or she'll hear me shouting, and I'm like, I never said a thing. You know, but it's only slightly Karen's. Karen's not like can see or hear spirit. But if a spirit wants to like get a message to Karen, it can get through to Karen slightly. She could open herself up more. That's interesting. But she's not at that
stage. I was just Karen. Can you hear us, Karen?
Karen. She's coming. I think she's in there watching EastEnders or something. I'll just tell her about
I'm sorry for interrupting EastEnders. I've got a question for you, Karen. Why don't you open yourself up further? Dave's obviously just said that you can sometimes hear spirit. So is there a reason why you don't open yourself up further? Because it sounds like you've obviously got some form. I'm not psychic by any means, but it sounds like you've obviously got some form of potential.
It's not that I don't want to open myself up. I don't even know that I've closed myself down in the first place, that I'm not open. So I've never really actually looked into how I would go about opening myself up.
Yeah.
Is that something that you would consider,
I
or?
find it really difficult to meditate. Yeah, I would consider it. I've been told you have to do quite a lot of meditating for it, and I really struggle with the meditating side of things and like going that, like chilling myself out that much. So whether I could or not, I don't actually know. But yeah, it doesn't. It's something I would consider. It doesn't. It's just I don't realise that I'm that closed off in the first place, really.
Karen's sounds like she's like me. She's about the meditation bit, because I can't do it either, because I just end up starting to laugh. I just laugh. I can't get into doing meditation.
A lot of people struggle with turning off. I do. Can you completely clear your mind, Dave?
I can meditate. Yeah, well, I can.
Yeah, you see, I can.
Yeah,
I can literally.
The only reason I can do that.
Go on.
Well, the only reason I can do that is because I was terrified of dentists, and they sent me away to like hypnosis, and they trained me how to go into my own little box. Yeah, like, you know, I can count down and put myself into a little zone, and so that's the only reason I can do that. So I meditate. Like for instance, when I've been up at the hospital, I can take my heart rate down from 120 to 90 beats a minute, within about 15 seconds, just with doing this.
That's really good, in all fairness.
I like doing that because they're like, oh my, how are you doing that? Is that terrified of dentists? They've taught me how to sort of bring my heart rate down.
It's a party trick.
It's my party trick.
Yeah, you see, mine don't come down that quickly, but I learn meditation through CBT, so cognitive behavioural therapy. When my anxiety was at its worst, I wouldn't leave the house. I didn't leave the house for a year because I was petrified. And the worst thing is, I don't even know what I was petrified of. I was just petrified that if I went out the house, something bad would happen. So I was obviously having therapy for that. And they taught me meditation, and it worked wonders for me to the extent where I can literally just completely clear my mind. And I know a lot of people struggle with that. But for me, it's heaven.
There's like 10 things going through my head at the one time. I just can't clear it.
I'm the same as Gemma. I can just click, within 10 seconds, I can just zone myself right out.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of times my kids will say to me, Mum. And I'm like, what? Did you want me? And I was like, I've been talking to you for the last 10 minutes and you've just been staring into space. And it's like, I'm not staring into space. I'm just... I'm just detoxing from the day. I am here.
Because Cam usually says that's me being rude. I'm going to use that. I'm just.
Honestly, I'm detoxing.
Thanks, Gemma, that's brilliant.
Honestly, I do it all the time. But I think for me personally, that works wonders, and I like to do that. I mean, I'm hoping that most people have like a little ritual that they do before going on to an investigation. So I've got a certain playlist that I have before every investigation. So I have the playlist on the way to location. And then when I pull up at the location, I spend 5 minutes just just clearing myself, clearing my mind before I start any investigation. Now, to me, that's just something that I've done for years. It's my preparation. I was just going to say, do you guys have anything like that? Because I know, like we've got Andy, the medium, and he does protection and stuff. But I much prefer my 5 minutes to myself. I'm
exactly you, Gemma. My protection's just personal. What I tend to do is, before I go investigation, before I leave the house, I'll say a little prayer to myself. I'll put a little sort of white light around me, just keep it protected. Not that I've ever been touched with spirit, but just a lot of protection. I'll get to the location, I'll do the same. I'll maybe ground myself, I'll have a little look around, I'll just clear my mind. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out, just get myself into the zone and then, hit it running.
Yeah, see, Dave, do you do anything like that? Dave, Bossman Dave?
No, I don't have any protection when I go to an investigation.
It's not.
I leave myself wide open.
See, mine's not necessarily protection. Mine is more getting myself mentally prepared for an investigation. So it's not protection. I'm not saying this is my white light, I don't want no spirits to come near me, blah blah blah. I'm not doing any of that. What I'm doing is just because I think, like Dave was saying earlier, sometimes the negativity can carry with you. So rather than me bringing my really shitty, horrible day into an investigation and that impacting on either getting no activity or too much activity because I've brought this negativity with me, I just have 5 minutes to just...
Yeah, I'm pretty quiet when I'm on the way to an investigation. So
You said something that's also very important, and it's something that we do before we get started, like Facebook Live. I like to have a little bit of a banter and a little joke and a laugh, because I think that helps build energy.
Oh yeah.
We're just crack a joke, have a laugh, whatever it is, get a bit of, camaraderie going around. I think the positive energy helps in the investigation.
Oh, without a doubt, I think so as well. I mean, we do it all the time, don't we, Dave? I mean, before I actually joined the team, I used to go with Dave for investigations anyway as a guest. But it was pretty much like I was one of the team then. I'd arrived before the guests or late, depending on where I was travelling to. And then we would just have a laugh. And I think that is so important. The bond that you have with your team is priceless.
Oh, definitely. It's a social event as well. It's like our investigations. Now we take investigations seriously, you know, the rest of that, but at the same time as well, it's a social event to catch up, have a, you know, it's like a chat and what you've been up to, all this and joking, and you know, break times always last about an hour instead of like 15 minutes. So the investigations, it's not just like hardcore investigating, it's also like catching up with your teammates. You may, you know, seen them for a while, or, you know, because we don't stay next to each other. So that part of it's important to me as well.
Yeah, I think you need that. I don't think any team without that that family atmosphere will last.
No,
because you need it. That's the glue that keeps it all together and keeps it all going. And you need to be able to be honest with your teammates without fearing that you're going to upset anybody.
100%.
It's madness.
Yeah.
Can I just ask Dave, what's been your?
I mean, I'm straight to the point.
Can I just ask Dave?
I can be too brittle, straight to the point. Yo.
Can I just ask, what's been your best memorable investigation you've done so far?
Oh,
good question.
What for evidence?
Well, for anything, yeah.
Probably the most memorable one I've done is when I was a guest of Haunted Happenings. I went over to Bran Castle in Romania. That was phenomenal. That was a great weekend.
So jealous.
I'd recommend that. It's such a beautiful country. It's like Scotland, except bigger. It's just phenomenal.
Is there anywhere that you've been that you would never return to?
There is one place, but it's been knocked down. It's called, I can say the name now because it's no longer there, Cairns-Alec House. Now, there was teams getting in there that were getting in there, were getting terrified and running out. So I was like, we need to go here. So we would go down there, and we don't have any fear of like nothing. And we were doing ITC. At this point in time, it was EchoVox we were using. And we were getting stuff. And I've got this clip if you want to hear it. It was saying, Nagal, he who watches. Now, I study a little bit of like demonology. Nagal is the Sumerian ruler of the underworld, and he's he who watches. We got that said. We got We Are Legion, another demon name. I'm not saying the demons were there because we don't believe that. We got Nero, another negative name. We had the Bible out, and it's not our Bible, going to make you bleed. All these intelligent catches, you know, portal to hell, stuff like that. Because there was witchcraft done in this location. We've got a photo of it. We've sent it away. We can't get it decoded. But there was something. They were conjuring something up in this abandoned old building that dates back to the 1700s at the time. But some of the ITC we got there was really, really dark. We did say to people, we're getting all these demonic names and we're getting all these like vile things said, but I can guarantee you there was nothing demonic there. It was just obviously some negative spirit that was there. It had been, as what I was portraying, as someone watching the devil worshippers doing what they're doing, and then obviously trying to mimic it.
Have you ever seen anybody trying to do any demonic spells as such?
I've never seen them doing it. No, I've never seen them doing it. I prefer to work within the light. It's very rare that I'll go to a dark location. I'm more prefer to work within the light side of spiritual work. But
the only reason I was asking that is because I went to a location not far from me. This was back a couple of years ago when my son was really getting into the paranormal and wanted to learn. So it was like, okay, we'll go somewhere local, and I will teach you everything that I know. So I did, took him off, and we walked in. It's an old church, and we walked in, and as we was walking up, we could hear this like chanting sound, and I was like, it's not something that I hear on a regular basis, but the chant sounded familiar. And then when we walked into the actual church, there was a group of people stood in, the fully caped robes, and they'd drawn a pentagram on the floor, and there was what can only be described as a sacrificed bird on the floor. And at that point, I turned to my son and I was like, "We're out of here, kiddo." And he was like, "What are they doing in there? Why are they doing some sort of satanic ritual?" And I was like, "Mate, I don't know, but I don't want any part in that." Now, as much as I don't necessarily believe in demons as such, I wouldn't be willing to put myself in that position.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I say to people, as that they believe in angels. Yeah, of course they believe in demons. I'm not saying I believe or disbelieve in them, but I don't want to be like interfering with them. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all right over here, thanks.
You just keep to your side of things. I'm keep away from that side of things.
Absolutely.
I won't go towards that dark side. I won't mess with that because that's the unknown.
Yeah. I mean, I see. I know bits. Don't get me wrong. I'm not completely stupid. I have obviously looked into things, as I'm sure everybody does. Especially when I was a lot younger. And the old, I'm saying a lot younger. I'm thinking like 13, 14, on a school field in the middle of the night after camping out with our makeshift Ouija board, out of a Kellogg's cornflake box, and we've made it ourselves. And we've all done stuff that we're not proud of when we was growing up. But to me, it's how you move on from that, and it's how you learn. So obviously, with my mistakes that I made when I was younger, I've learned a lot throughout my time in the paranormal field. And I think everybody needs to
never stop learning. I don't think.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, I think you've got to learn.
See if you say you stop learning the paranormal, then you're lying to yourself, because it's so big and so vast. It's impossible to stop learning. There's something new pops up in the field.
It's not just ghosts, is it?
Oh, that's what's interesting. Yeah, it's just I mean, the past few years I've even been as communicating as it with aliens. That's another thing that people talk about. That's another branch of paranormal.
Absolutely.
There's so many different things. Yeah.
See, UFOs and Mothman and those sort of things. Like I did branch off for a while. and go down that route. But that's not because that's what I want to, with want of a better word, specialize in. It's because I want to be a well-rounded person in the paranormal field. So I want to have knowledge of every branch so that I can then progress myself further. But with saying that I think everybody should be willing to explore, if you will. Yeah. Like I've heard loads of people saying, "I believe in ghosts, but I don't believe in UFOs." Yeah.
Well, it's like I mean, I just I'm a specialise as just like spirit, but I love UFOs. I believe in UFOs. I love Bigfoot. All the myths in that. I watch all the TV shows, like the Josh Gates ones.
Absolutely.
Expedition Unknown. I love all them. Anything like that I watch. Have you seen the Hellier? Have you seen that, Gemma?
Yeah, I've not seen the second one.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, I've seen the first one because that was on Netflix, wasn't it? But when you think, I might watch that tonight then if it's on YouTube. I literally, but when I watch things like that, you will always find me with a notepad, even when we're on investigations, don't I, Dave? I pop along with my little notepad and my pen. I've always got one with me. So even when I'm watching things like Hellier, like the first Hellier, I was sat watching it with my notepad and I was writing notes down as I was going, and I was like, how sad am I?
I honestly don't watch any paranormal teams like Ghost Hunters or whatever. I don't watch any of that, but I did watch Hellier because I found it quite interesting, the concept, because of the documentary. I love documentaries, so and I really enjoyed that. It was really well done.
See, I love serial killer documentaries as well. Oh, definitely. We've been saying this for
an investigation.
Yeah, we've been saying this for a couple of years now, and we've not actually managed to do it. But I definitely think life is too short. If this pandemic's taught us nothing, it's that life is too short. So all these people that we've been saying for many years, we will meet up. I think we should actually do it. I mean, I know there is such things as paranormal conventions in the UK, but I think we should maybe look at maybe doing some sort of paranormal meetup. You know, just where all of the investigators. It's not about
locations.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not about doing an investigation or people paying to come or special guests. I think we should look at something where just as paranormal investigators can get together, have a chinwag, maybe have a few bevies, and just bond. Yeah.
Yeah, so the last one I was down, wasn't the last one. I was down at East Drive, and Joe, she popped in for, I think she was in for about an hour and a half, her and her boyfriend, and we were, having a little chinwag, and we put the app and that on in East Drive and that, and, they'd been waiting like ages to meet Joe, and it was nice to meet Joe and that, so it'd be great to meet yourself, because I've been like friends with you on Facebook as well. We don't chat too often, but, we're always watching. I'm always like checking like what everybody else is doing and that.
Yeah, same. I mean,
don't really comment too much on Facebook.
See, I like to cause a bit of drama on Facebook.
I used to. I'm banned from doing it now.
You're not allowed. I've got absolutely nobody to tell me off for doing it, so it's just like whatever.
I'm a good boy now.
I've taken over for you on that one.
Can't warn me when I forgot. She's like, you don't talk about this person, you don't talk about that person. I said, no, I wouldn't say a word, Karen.
No, I'll be good. I promise. See, I think Dave does that to me before every show. I'm sure before every show he's like, Gemma, stop it. Now I think my biggest issue is reminding myself not to swear.
Yeah,
that always worries me. Well, guys, we've been going for over an hour now. I could talk to you all night, though. To be fair, Dave and Dave.
I didn't even realise it. Time flies when you
it goes so quick.
See, this is the problem. Everyone that we've spoken to up to now, it's like I don't want the interviews to end because I'm really enjoying what we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Gemma, Dave, I'm going to get an investigation sorted, and we'll get you along investigation, and you can
definitely,
you can investigate yourselves a little bit, film a little bit, and you can see the app in action for yourself.
Yes.
Which will be cool.
Yeah.
Thanch you so much for trying that earlier.
So, whereabouts are you? Where are you based?
I'm Northwich. I'm near Northwich, Cheshire.
Cheshire, right?
And I'm Lincolnshire.
I'll get some place sorted before the year's out. Where are you, Jenna?
See, I'm Lincolnshire.
Lincolnshire,
so,
whereabouts is that?
Yeah. Have you heard of Hull or Lincoln?
Yes.
East side
I'm not too far. Yeah. North East. Yeah, I'm not far. Of course, De Grey Street. Well, I'm half an hour away from De Grey Street.
All right, okay. Well, that's fine. Well, I'll get something sorted, and we'll get.
That sounds fab.
Yeah,
we'll do a joint investigation because Dave's been saying actually that he wants the team to do more with other teams, so it's perfect.
Yeah, that sounds a plan. But leave that with us, and I'll get that sorted, and I'll be in contact with yourself. What I'm going to do before this ends, I'm going to send you a little video, just to some catches, Gemma, just for you to look.
Yeah. Send me it over, and then I can add it onto because I've added your group actually onto the chat. I don't know if you've seen it, but I added your group page into the chat so people can pop over and have a look. And then if you send me that link. If you send me that link, I'll add it on so that everybody can watch it too, and then I can watch it.
Oh, brilliant. That's excellent. But, thanks so much, guys, and I'll speak to you at some point.
Yes, very, very soon. But
we'll have a chat off air. We'll have a quick chat off air. And
don't go anywhere, Dave. We'll have a quick chat off air and then
we'll
take it from there. But for everybody watching tonight, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute honour as always, and we will see you next week.
Thanks, Dave.